Coming to you live from my apartment. It's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's the podmaster that sucks. I am Rob Sisterino. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Big Brother 22 recap Wednesday night edition. 2 weeks from tonight, the winner, Big Brother 22, will be crowned. And we're very excited to have a great show here for you tonight because we have a real life Big Brother winner with us on the panel to talk about everything that's going on. Please welcome back to the podcast, the winner of Big Brother 15, the great Andy Herron is here. Andy, how are you?
Hi, I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, you look great. So good to see you.
Thanks.
What's on your shirt? What is that?
They're birds, Rob.
Yes, birds. Okay. Will you talk to them like Christmas talks to the ducks in the house?
I do not. I am in real life and not going crazy in the Big Brother house, so I am not talking to inanimate objects.
Okay. What's been going on with you, Andy?
Oh, I mean, so not, same old, same old. I feel like pandemic life. Work took a little bit of a hit. It's been getting back to normal a little bit. But still, I've had a lot more free time on my hands. And I was going to tell you guys, I'm always a fan. Like, I listen every summer. But, like, this summer, I've really become a fan because I don't have anything else to do. And so, like, I listen to the podcast every day, like, after it airs. Like, to the point where a few weeks ago, it wasn't put up on like, Spotify. And I texted messaged Melissa, and I was like, why isn't it up yet? And so I'm a little starstruck to be here now because I've become so invested in it this summer.
Okay, well, great to have you here, and we could put you direct in touch with customer service support. You don't have to bother Melissa. We'll have to
she replied very quickly, and the podcast was up very soon. So
okay,
yeah,
all right, good.
All
right, that's pretty impressive if we only screw up once in a while. That I feel like we have a lot of mistakes. But thank you, Andy. Great to have you here tonight to talk about everything that's going on. Also back with us tonight, Asia Welch is here. Asia, how are you?
I am doing well, Rob. I am ready to talk about this episode because I brought my teapots.
Oh, okay.
I am so prepared to talk about the important content.
Spill the tea. Yes.
Spill the tea.
yes. And maybe we'll talk about the tea versus the pot and much more here tonight. And then also with us tonight, a person who Andy Herron said, I will not come on the podcast unless this person is here. Please welcome the voice of the people. It's Melissa Denny. Melissa, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really important around these parts. People want a podcast with me. That's just fine. It's like, I get it. It makes total sense. I am basically a prophet, honestly, this season. So I think it all makes sense. Like, people just want to talk to me, know more about like what's going to happen to the season, maybe what's going to happen to them. Like, I probably can't tell that. I'm really only a Big Brother prophet, but
Yeah,
although I'm going to keep milking this like one joke about me being a prophet until this Nicole thing doesn't come true. And then I'm never going to mention it again. And everyone's going to need to just not rub it in my face.
Yeah. Nostradeni is here to give us more prophecies because it's not necessarily like you called it and this is what you wanted to have happen. You've been able to see the future, but it's like, hey, I have some bad news. This is what's happening, and I don't like it one bit.
Right. It's like monkey's paw prophet because it's like
what is your wish?
But I can't change it. It's not what I want. Like, I'll see it, but it's not what I want to happen. And that's just it.
All right. Well, happy to have you here with us tonight to talk about everything that's going on. Andy, what is it about Melissa that has made her stand out so much for you?
I don't know. I always agree with her. I like what she has to say.
With the people.
I think she's like a pretty great mix of like the roboticness of Taryn, but also the like passion of Brent. I think that she's kind of like a happy medium.
Yeah. No, she's the baby bear of not too hot, not too cold.
I very much agree with that reference. I've really enjoyed her drunk histories of Big Brother this summer.
Yeah.
I think that she needs some praise, and I'm here to give it to her.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll keep you around.
And like I said, I've become like an expert this summer. I've listened to like every minute of every podcast, so I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to be taking your questions later on in the show as we talk about the final five and the BB comics. Everybody wants to weigh in on the comics. And then tomorrow night, we'll talk about who's going home. Will it be Memphis? Will it be Christmas? Find out as we get down to 4. Asia, can you believe that we are going to get 2 more weeks of episodes out of this crew? It really feels like after Monday night and after tonight, well, we might be running out of material.
I can't believe it. Like, of all the seasons not to do that little surprise eviction they do in the middle of the week, why? Like, this one, I would have taken 2 or 3 surprise middle of the week evictions to hurry this along. But we have 2 whole weeks to get from 4 to 1. And they're going to have the final 3 on the final night. So it's like, what are they going to do with all this time?
Yeah. Andy, do you want to weigh in on, I guess, the season as a whole, but specifically the decision to do the triple eviction?
Yeah.
Not so much like, oh, we missed this exciting week of content, but it just seems like a real misfire in terms of like, we don't have enough stuff to fill the shows anymore.
Right. I mean, as everyone knows, just if I could reverse the boot order and have that be the boot order, that's what I would want to if it had happened this season. And I agree with the triple eviction. I think was just planned very poorly. I think the triple eviction should have been like week 3. Just get rid of 3 people. I mean, sure, we would have lost like some fan favorites, but we would have lost people that never really stood a chance, and it would have just been like one fall swoop. Whereas we were robbed of like Danielle would have given us such a good week of getting mad and like wanting revenge on her alliance but instead we just clipped her in 20 minutes on live television.
Yeah.
And we lost like the only 3 people that were somewhat compelling and like we wanted to root for in one night. And so after that, it was just like, okay, I guess we've got these 5 or these 6 left. It was just a bummer. Like I said, going into it, it was an exciting night of TV, but the way that it played out was just exactly how the season has played out. And it was just everything that we did not want to happen happened.
Yeah. What would have been wrong with, like in Big Brother 15, to have 2 double evictions?
Right. I have no idea. I mean, I love double evictions, and I think I would rather have had like 2 nights of being excited as opposed to 1 night of being excited. I think 2 double evictions would have been better.
Yeah, I guess they just had 1 hour of television that they needed to fill. And this was the only idea that they had, was like, all right, well, I guess let's do another Big Brother eviction.
Right. Well, and they still somehow messed that up too. Remember when they were like, okay, we can't tell the house guests, and then they were like, oh,
who can forget?
What's that? Yeah. Like,
yeah. What? I didn't say triple eviction.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like Julie needs to take some improv classes, because I feel like that could have been like turned into like a fun moment where it's like, oh, I guess you saw it. Like, what are your thoughts on that, or something like that? Instead, she was like, let's keep it a secret a little longer. And it's like, well, it's not a secret anymore, and we all know it. And she's like, oh, I didn't say triple. It's like, yeah, we saw your background.
I agree. Is Julie okay this season?
I know. That's what I'm wondering. I was like, anytime somebody like has a speech or something, she always feels the need to like comment on it, especially if the person mentions God. It's like, me too. You're not the only one.
So Julie has she's talked about this in some interviews where that she has really discovered her or rediscovered her religion to a point where that this is like she's undergone like a big life change in terms of like how important God is in her life, and like more power to you, Julie Chen Moonves. But
well, it's like that. Good for her, absolutely. But like, I'd prefer that to be like kind of left out of Big Brother. Like, keep that on your own Instagram and your own thing.
100%. I don't know if you guys
like
your Instagram stories they're wild. I'll just say that.
You know what? Maybe this is good material for the slop. I do not follow JCM's.
Julie's Instagram stories are very, very wild.
Okay. Can you give us a tease? What goes on? Is it like her?
Lots of Bible verses, lots of like inspiration from, oh my God, Lee Body, I want to say is the name of her pastor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just they're interesting. I'll just say that.
Okay. All right. Andy, do you have any broad takes overall on the season that you want to share with us for people who have not been following you on social media this season?
I mean, I kind of think I just feel the same way that everyone does. I've like never been as excited for a season. Actually, maybe for Survivor Winners at War, but as I was for this season to premiere, I remember like sitting down on the 5th and just truly like excitement coursing through my veins. And then just every single week has been a disappointment. We haven't had like one reprieve from being disappointed at all. And I mean, I fault this giant alliance for pre-gaming and for like, but also, and for winning everything. I mean, I also fault the other side of the house for not being able to win a single competition or a single HOH to overthrow any of these people. I mean, I still just think I don't understand the casting of some of these people. I feel like, do you think that like Memphis or Cody or Enzo were ever going to be like super, super compelling characters on TV? I just really don't think they ever were. And so I think it's kind of interesting that they were put on. But it's been a real disappointment.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll say I think Enzo is at least a character. I don't really know what Cody or Memphis's character is.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just keep blaming coronavirus for the cast that we have.
We just need to blame it for everything.
Yeah, just because imagine a different world where, anybody they would have asked would have said yes, or they would have asked people they didn't ask.
Right.
We could have ended up with an amazing cast.
Yeah, I do think though things would have been different had Josh and Casey made the cast. I know that they were there in Sequester, or at least close enough where that maybe Tyler doesn't end up like playing like this half-hearted game this season, and then also maybe how necessarily Josh changes things up. So they did get a little bit unlucky with Memphis, who ended up being a last-minute replacement. But Andy, I would love to know from you, and I follow your tweets very closely. You're in my timeline constantly. Were you involved in any of the pre-season conversations that were being had by the players?
I mean, very few. I feel like everyone knows that no one from Big Brother 15 is going to get a call. So I feel like very few people reached out to me.
You're safe to talk to.
Right. I talked to Janelle and I told her, please target men, but I mean, she didn't really get a chance to. I talked to Danielle and Ian and I just told them to work together, which that didn't work out. But other than that, I'm trying to think. I think those are the only three people that I even talked to going in.
What about Nicole? I feel like that I've seen like where people say that, okay, well, Andy is friends with Nicole.
Okay, so Nicole, no. I mean, okay, I actually, I can give I can give like a world premiere exclusive piece of info here. A lot of people have asked me like why I'm not really rooting for Nicole this season. And here's the thing, I'm not rooting against Nicole.
You didn't get invited to the wedding.
But yes. So no, when I originally did not get invited to the wedding, I was like, okay, like she invited Janelle, who she hates, and not me, who she's literally like been to my apartment many times. Okay. After Big Brother 16, she visited Chicago a lot because she was seeing Hayden, and Hayden lived in Chicago. And we got pretty close through that. She watched the Big Brother 17 finale at my apartment with me. She was like in Chicago with me watching it. Her best friend was at my apartment for her winning. I watched her win with her best friend. We got pretty close. And so then after 18, I didn't talk to her as much, but then the wedding happened. And like I said, I thought it was kind of weird that I didn't get invited, but also I didn't really hold that much against her. But then I learned that someone, and this is like why I haven't really been able to root for her. Someone from my cast, I'm not going to say who, but with like a very big following on a few social media platforms, who's like not really Nicole's friend, who's met her like once, and this was told to me by the person on my cast. This person got invited to the wedding and I didn't. And this person was like, I'm pretty sure I only got invited because I have such a big following. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like, I was just like, I'm her actual friend. She's like spent a lot of time
with me. We know it wasn't Alyssa.
Right, but I'm not going to say who it is. But I was just like, I was like one of the only alums that rooted for her on 18. And so like, it takes a lot to like hurt my feelings like that. And learning that, I was just like, ooh, I think she's like kind of opportunistic and I don't love this. And so, like I said, I don't wish her ill will. I'm like not rooting against her, but it has been hard for me just personally to root for her, if that makes sense.
Okay. Wow. Andy, with the tea.
Yeah.
The tea is piping hot.
It's just, like I said, I thought it was kind of opportunistic and kind of gross. And like I said, this cast member was like, wait, because she reached out to me, reached out to me and was just like, oh, like, did you get invited? Obviously you did. And I was like, no, I didn't. And when she said that she did, I was like, I don't love that, but whatever.
Yeah, but then you found out how much money it costs to go.
right.
And then you were like, thank goodness.
And then I was like, yeah, okay, I'm cool with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just a bummer. Like I said, I'm not like mad. It just like bummed me out,
It doesn't surprise me, I'll say.
No, that's the thing. It's like, I had been like, I really have kind of like the Nicole that we're seeing now is not the Nicole that I met after Big Brother 16. I'm being honest. Like, I just kind of feel like Nicole's like a shell of who she once was. And it's like a bummer. And like, that's why a part of me like isn't really rooting for her because I don't want like it to be rewarded that she like isn't that cool. I don't know. Like I'm like digging my grave. I feel like I should just stop.
Well, I'm interested to know, Andy, who are you rooting for, if anyone?
I'm rooting for Cody. I think that, so here's my thing. I'm rooting for Cody because I just am not invested in any of them. And so I'm strategically rooting for the person that I think has played the best, and that's Cody. But I will give credit where credit is due. If any of the remaining players cut Cody, then I will be rooting for them, even if it is Nicole. She deserves it. Like, I think I will be rooting for who the player that deserves it the most is, I think. And at this point, I think it's Cody.
Asia, this was a real roller coaster ride for me tonight with Cody, because when we had the segment about his family, I personally, I didn't know this about that his girlfriend had Hodgkin's lymphoma and was, he was with her through this whole thing. I was like, wow, this is what a great guy. Cody, couldn't believe it. Was this known to the audience, or am I just somehow out of the loop?
Yeah, if you follow him on Instagram, like if you don't know Cody, but if you follow him on Instagram, he has been pretty public about it, and posts every now and then, especially when she was going through everything. So I know, remembering when I saw that on Instagram, like even like whenever it happened a year or two ago, I just thought like, oh, how awesome of a guy is he? Like they stuck together, and you can really tell how strongly he feels about her. And I was like, he's such a good guy. Like he's not the immature guy we saw in season 16. He just flirts with everybody. It was like he's in a real committed relationship, and they've gone through a lot. And so I knew about that story just because of Instagram.
I mean, I feel like Cody and Enzo seem like pretty good people, right? Like, am I crazy? Like, I think that like out of the remaining people that are left in there, it seems like they're like the best people. If that makes sense?
Well, I was just coming around on Cody, and then we got to in the comics, and then he starts with shading Kaser and Keisha.
I know.
Kaser? King of what? Going home before he gets to the jury? Like, I don't know. What is he the king of? Why does he even have a comic?
Why does he even have a comic? He doesn't even want Kaser to have a comic?
I mean,
It's a little
do we think that like production was just like, oh, give us some funny sound bites about, like, I feel like they were like egging him on to do this for sure.
That's exactly what I was
Absolutely.
thinking. I was like, production is clearly telling them like, okay, like rag on these like past contestants and just trying to get them to like say stuff, because you could tell that each person was kind of like putting their own spin on like mocking these house guests. Like, I don't know. It was just like, okay, like even who was it who was talking about Davon's comic? Was it what, Enzo's or
Memphis?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's nothing really to say about that comic. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Daydream, but like he's like, it's like, okay, I guess I'll just talk about Davon. I don't know.
Well, I mean, none of these house guests are funny, so it just came across as like it just came across as like rude and mean-spirited.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I feel like I kept thinking like if a different person was saying this, like
for sure,
it might come across as like silly and funny, but like because these house guests are saying it, and because they're saying it about people like that are universally, well, not universally, but you know, for the most part loved outside of the house, that like it comes across real bad.
I mean, I feel like that's like an overall theme of the whole season. I feel like this whole season has been humorless, right? It's like whenever I watch the feeds, like, which is rare, but like whenever I did, it just seemed like nobody was having any fun ever. Like there would just be very little humor and like laughter in this house.
Also, have there been like any funny segments from the past like 3 weeks? I mean, like, okay, someone walking in on someone going to the bathroom multiple times and someone talking about tea kettles. Like, none of that is funny. Like, I don't find any of that funny. But the foot fetish thing, like, I mean, come on. Like, I feel like all of this is just like, what the heck? Like, this is not funny.
No,
like,
I agree.
And if that's the best they can do in terms of like I can't blame the producers for that or the editors, because it's like, if that's the best they have, that's the best they have. They're not really having winning material to work with here. So I don't know. Not great.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about what was going on in terms of this game, and a lot of like politicking about the veto and who could potentially win and maybe come down. We saw Enzo talking with Christmas, talking with Memphis about how, you know, he should try to win the veto. Melissa, do we suspect that Enzo threw the veto here?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly, like, it could be a throw. It could be not. I don't think so. Maybe he said it on feeds. I don't know. But I just honestly, I feel like this episode in particular, I was noticing that, like, and maybe it's just because I knew what the outcome was going to be no matter what. Like, I feel like no one was going to use the veto unless it was won by Christmas or Memphis. And we know that. And so like the whole first half of the episode was seemingly like kind of pointless to me. I mean, I know they need to like fill the space, but it's like what's going to happen if someone wins it? What's going to happen if Memphis wins? It's like, well, if Memphis wins it, he's going to use it. If Christmas wins it, she's going to use it. And if everyone else wins it, it's not going to get used. So like move along. Let's look at the comics. I don't know. I love the BB comics like veto competition so much that I was just like, okay, let's move along. Let's have close-ups of the comics so I can look at them and critique them. And all this other garbage like doesn't mean anything to me.
Agreed.
Yeah. Asia, I did like it when Enzo was talking to Nicole and they were watching Memphis on the spy screen. And Enzo was like, look at this guy. He's like a big bully.
Right.
You know, I just can't wait till he's out of here.
Yeah, it's so whoever is on the bottom that week, they want to poke at. Like they would have never been talking about Memphis like this 2 weeks ago, but it's like now they're like, okay, now that we're putting him on now he's on the block, and now that we're targeting him, let's poke at him a little bit. It's like, did you see him as a bully 3 weeks ago? Even though we know like Memphis does kind of have that persona, but on that point about Enzo throwing it, I don't think he threw it only because his score was on par with Memphis and Christmas.
Right.
The scores were all pretty low.
Yeah.
I mean, like they were all like 20 minutes, like 28 minutes. Like it was a pretty close race besides Nicole.
It's easier said than done, I'm sure. And BB Comics was a season after me, so I never got to do it. But it's like, it doesn't seem that hard. Just like put them down and like figure out what I don't know. It doesn't like, I feel like Nicole's time seemed quite realistic to me.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
practice.
The complicated thing has got to be like the rope thing or like the like zip line thing for me. At least like that seems complicated to me, but it seems like they always get them wrong. Like they always do the little X thing where it's like,
exactly.
It's like that doesn't seem to be the hard part. It seems like the swinging and then like getting back out and the swinging, like that seems hard to me. But maybe it's just because like physical stuff is just like not for me in terms of competition.
No, I completely agree. Like when they sit them down and look at them and notice the differences, I don't understand how they got any of them wrong. Like that was very odd.
To be fair though, that David one was a little hard.
Yeah.
Where it was just like a bunch of Davids. Like I don't know if I would have thought like, okay, I need to count the Davids.
Right.
It's like the first thing, but
let me you want to talk about Enzo's teapot?
For a second.
Well, I mean, what else are we going to talk about, really? I feel like, we can talk about the intricacies of like tea making and whether it's considered manly or not. But
well, hold on, Andy. Did Enzo just get a teapot, or did they have the teapot the whole season?
Okay, so you're asking the wrong person. I've never once in my life made tea or coffee, so I don't know how to use a teapot or a coffee pot. If there was one in the Big Brother house, I never once used it. I actually could not tell you if there. I mean, I'm sure there was, but I actually don't know. So you have the wrong guest on tonight to talk about this because I just truly have no idea.
Yeah.
Also, I love how they're having Cody like critiquing Enzo's. Yeah. Like Enzo is such a dummy, and it's like basically like Dumb and Dumber, like sitting there critiquing each other. It's like which one can out-dumb the other?
No, I tweeted. I was just like I had a typo, so I deleted it. But I was like, I wish that we had more heavy hitters in there because like Enzo and Cody are playing the best games, and like what world out of every pool of every Big Brother player that we could have possibly had are Enzo and Cody the best two players of the season? It's so wild.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Enzo makes a lot of tea, I guess, and he boils water on the stove in the pot and only recently realized that there is a tea kettle in the Big Brother house. He didn't really know how to use it. It seems like that he's unfamiliar with the concept of a tea kettle.
Oh, it whistles.
Yes. Yes.
I at least knew that.
Yes. But
has he never seen a movie?
Yeah. Or seen or heard I'm a little teapot, none of these things. He doesn't know about this. But he feels like that maybe it's more masculine to boil the water in a pot and then spill the water everywhere and not use the teapot.
You've been using pot. Well, because it's manly to use the pot.
It's manly to use the pot?
Now, Andy, I've seen some of your cameos on cameo.com. Is it manly to use the pot?
No, I'm gonna say that it's universally fine to use the pot. Men can use the pot. It is not like, and I don't know. I didn't love this. I think like I don't like when men like think that things are girly. I think it's like antiquated and stupid. But
you feel like anybody can use the pot.
Men out there feel free to use the pot. Yes.
Men use the pot. Women use the pot.
Yes, it is not just a thing for women.
Okay.
Why? This is what we're talking about.
I know. It's literally come to this, talking about tea kettles, and I was like, I've never thought of myself more as a woman just because I use my teapot. It's more of like, oh, I don't have time to use my Keurig today, or no, I have time, so let me not use my Keurig. Let me actually use my teapot. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. We think it's we're good with everybody using the pot here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, boy.
All right. Let's see. All right. Should we? I'm trying to milk this to get to the comics and have a long discussion about the comics. Should we talk about just Christmas's cooking? What's with her zucchini?
All right, I'm gonna go cook some zucchini and tomatoes.
Her zucchini is disgusting.
This is what we're talking about. This is it, guys. Peak Big Brother content. Zucchini and tomatoes. Like, I don't even.
She was going to make zucchini and tomatoes, and then later on in the episode,
Make me some pokey.
she wanted pokey.
She's a chef.
What?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? What does that mean? Like sushi?
Is it like raw
ahi tuna and
that's what she was talking about. Okay, isn't it poke? I mean, I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know if pokey was like some sort of a food that I didn't know what it was.
No.
But do they have that in the Big Brother house? We never had anything like that.
They were eating it at the end of the episode. They all had their cake on. Yeah.
We never had that. We had like Triscuits and hummus, and that's all that they gave us. So.
Okay.
That's all you get.
Asia, what do you think Christmas is doing to the zucchini?
For it to be so bad, just not adding a lick of salt or pepper or any type of seasoning, because how do you mess it up unless she's overcooking it? The texture's off, like, or Enzo just doesn't like vegetables.
It just seems like she would be a bad cook, right? I mean, she does not seem like the way that her body looks. I'm like, you don't make food that tastes good,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
No
way.
She
just seems like too angry to be a good cook. I can see her like
I don't know. I feel like
something to oblivion.
A lot of good chefs, I feel like, are angry.
Angry.
That's like a trope of chefs. Yeah. So
it is a trope of chefs.
Like a Gordon Ramsay, like taking Julie Chen Moonves.
Yeah, Julie Chen. An idiot sandwich.
Right.
Yeah. Because one other Christmas thing before we talk about the comics that I felt like that, Cody was having this really nice segment talking about his girlfriend, and then I felt like that Christmas hijacked it.
He did.
Yeah,
wait, I thought we were talking about Cody.
I mean, that's what Christmas's thing is, that she makes any conversation about her. Are we shocked? Like, come on.
Hey, look, they're trying to find ways to make this final five sympathetic. And I remember we were talking earlier about how, like, have they showed any conversations from the committee that are like emotional or like moving or something about their life or whatever? This is it. So you're welcome, everyone, because you finally get, some sort of emotionality from them.
I was just listening to Nicole Anthony on a podcast, and she was saying how
the Podmaster.
They never had. She was saying that like nobody ever wanted to have conversations like that. She was saying that she tried, and people would just like, nobody wanted to like open up. Nobody wanted to just like goof around even. And she just said that nobody really like wanted to talk about personal stuff, which is weird to me. I think
they didn't want to do it with her because they wanted her out.
Yeah, I guess.
Save it for the podcast, Podmaster.
Did they ever really do it with like? I feel like I never like saw the committee members having like super deep, meaningful conversations with each other.
Yeah, that's why they have to do it with the inanimate objects around the house. Here's where we're talking to the duck.
What do you think? I think that I'm gonna be a final four. I do. Listen, I'm gonna win the veto because I'm the veto girl. Okay. You're kind of a crazy eye.
Christmas. And then Enzo talked to the cow.
It's hilarious
Yeah,
because, coming on this podcast, I was like, let me take a few notes. My roommate starts talking during that segment. I was like, wait, I'm taking notes. She's like, for this is the content.
We're like, this is all we have, really. This is about it.
Talks to a duck.
Honestly, okay, so in this episode, we have Christmas talking to a duck, we have Memphis or Enzo talking to a cow, and then Nicole talking to the camera. Just talk to the camera. Like Nicole talking to the camera was so much more meaningful to me than like other people talking to props. It's just like I can't take like whatever strategy conversations they're having with these animals or whatever like insight they're giving us to their game. Like it just goes in one ear and out the other for me. Whereas like with Nicole, it's like she's talking to the camera saying like, I'm not going to tell this information to people. Like I'm going to, keep that to myself. And I'm going to, keep it in mind that Christmas might, take me to the finals. Like that stuff's interesting to me. Just talk to the cameras. You don't need to do a big song and dance about like having some silly critter to talk to, It's like
they're all stars. They should know to talk to the cameras. They should know that that's like what people want. I feel like I don't fault first-time players for not really knowing that. Like I personally once, I finished last on an HOH competition in our final 5, and the production told me to go inside, and they were like, "Oh, go inside and entertain the feedsters." And I literally just went inside and folded napkins and put silverware away and did not say a word. And looking back, I'm just I'm so sorry. I wish I would have known to actually talk to all of you. But it's like
you're just silent.
I literally just sat there and played cards with myself. But
this sucks.
if you're an all-star, you should know. Come on, you should know to talk to the cameras.
But it's like these all. Yeah, exactly. These all-stars, a lot of them don't even watch feeds. Memphis was just talking about this week. He's like, the feeds seem boring. Like, how do you even watch the feeds? Like, how do you find interesting stuff? Like, how do you not get how the feeds work?
Also, I feel like if you want credit for what you're doing, tell us what you're thinking.
It haunts me that I didn't, because it was final 5, and I feel like if I would have just been hey, I'm running things. I've got this person in my pocket. I wanted this. I feel like I could have gained so much favor, and I'm just instead I just put knives away.
Totally, because you made the house look nice. Honestly, because I do feel like a lot of the time when somebody wins and we don't know their strategy, if they've kept it in, we're bound to think they didn't have a strategy. Because they didn't say anything about it the whole time. So clearly there wasn't anything there. But really, if that person will just turn to the cameras and be like, no, I really actually have an idea of what's going on. And this is my plan. That will give them so much credit in the end. Whereas them after the fact saying no, I really did have a plan, will mean nothing.
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the BB comics from tonight. And I don't know, you want to go through them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is in no particular order, just the order that I transcribed them. Bailey is Bailey's Comet.
Downvote.
Downvote.
What does that do anything?
Yeah, if somebody has a link with all of the pictures, I saw what Mike had on parade.com, what Mike Bloom had, but if somebody has a link, tweet it to me and I'll put them up on the screen if people want to take a look. I have some of them. I guess let me show you some of the ones that I've been able to find on Twitter if anybody has a photo gallery of all of them. So I did mention Bailey's Comet, which makes no sense whatsoever.
It's like they were like, well, okay, her name is Bailey. What does that rhyme with? Haley? Haley's Comet? Okay, we got it. It's it has nothing to do with anything that she did in the game. It's literally just a play on her name.
Yeah, very dumb.
Had nothing to do. If she was maybe really into astrology and she talked about it constantly on the season, but it was just they pulled something out of a hat and were like, oh, this works.
Yeah.
Was Bailey's comic Bailey's Comet? Was she riding the surfboard that Swaggy C won the first HOH, or was on for the first HOH in BB20?
Rob, I think you're giving them way too much credit. I don't think he is, but that's just me.
Okay, let me see.
We're talking about a production who frequently misspells people's names and gets things wrong all the time. I don't think they were
Well, that was how we were introduced to Swaggy C. He was on a surfboard in the Big Brother 20 premiere. Yes. Here, I have courtesy of Hamster Watch. I can bring up some of the ones that we're talking about here tonight for people watching us on the YouTube version. Here is Bailey's Comet. Boom.
No.
Bad.
No,
Terrible.
Bad.
At least her face looks like her. I
mean,
will say.
she looks beautiful, but the concept is stupid.
Yes, so a constellation sensation.
Mhm.
What?
Okay. All right. What about the Podmaster?
I like this one.
Yeah.
This
So
one's
good.
Look
I
at
can
her
go with
nails.
that.
Even her nails are rainbow. I really like this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good one.
Okay, they did a good job with
And
the
it was relevant to
Podmaster.
this season because
Yes.
there was discussion in the beginning about how we turned down an invite to her podcast, so she hates us now with Danny and Nicole saying that. So it was relevant.
Remember that? Wasn't that so weird? Like it's just like Nicole Anthony, who just doesn't hate anyone. They were so worried about that. That was so weird.
It was
Mhm.
very strange. So
Yeah. She's the Podmaster.
That was a good one.
Asia, I think
So
she has the
good.
same microphone as you. I think that's
Oh, she
looks like
does.
a Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
And then is Eric Curto in the background?
I don't think
Is he
she
one of
was.
the-
Is he one of the criminals?
Ooh, are the
Pictures?
criminals- are they supposed to be people? Are they just random people?
I think they're random.
I think they're just random because the other villains
Right.
in the other one are just random.
yeah.
Okay. Here's what Enzo had to say about the Nicole Anthony podcast.
I love Nicole A, but that's one podcast I will not listen to live. I feel bad. I will listen to your podcast one time. The one that I'm on it, I will listen to that.
Okay. Boy,
I
that
feel like
wasn't.
why though? Like, I mean, I love her, but I won't listen to her podcast. It's like, why? Like, if you love her, then you would listen to it.
I
If
mean,
it's-
yet again, I think they were just like, "Ooh, give us a snippy soundbite," and that's what they got.
Mhm.
Right. Because the
Yeah.
other options probably weren't much better. Cody
Right.
probably
Mhm.
said something. Memphis probably said something.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one podcast I will not listen to.
Yeah. I've got like 800 more for you, Enzo.
Like, at least the comic got a thumbs up.
Yes, the
Mhm.
comic
Right.
was good. This was one of the few
So
good
good.
ones.
Yeah, if I were
Okay.
her, I would make that like the
Yeah.
like, profile picture of my podcast.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The Podmaster. Okay. We have David and Goliath. He's David and he turns up to Goliath. He says, a hero you can look up to.
I liked the tagline, but I mean, I would give it a middling, like a middle
Yeah.
thumb.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like I like the tagline because I feel like he talked about that a lot of like, a lot of people would see him on this show and
You're giving them too much
jury.
credit,
Hey, I'm
Melissa.
just saying, like that.
No
that
way
tagline
that
is
they were like
good.
looking
I
that
think
deep into
That is
this.
literally the only reason it's this. Otherwise, I do feel like it's like a very it's an obvious one. It's like, okay, David and Goliath. Okay, cool. Like, let's just make him David and Goliath. Like,
Well,
it's
and
very
the
easy.
The artwork is weird. I think he kind of looks like a bug. Like it looks like
Yeah.
I think
It does.
the
It
look
looks
is
like
weird.
a bug with a bunch of arms.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Like,
yeah,
I think-
middling to low.
Do
Yeah,
you
I
think
agree.
that they were going for a double meaning here? A hero you could look up to?
Hey, look, it's accidentally on point because
That's-
David was the rookie and he was
Yeah.
going against these Goliaths. And hey, he made it all the way to the triple eviction.
Yeah.
But I know who probably does love this comic. Julia
Who?
Chen.
Oh,
yes,
for
it's
sure.
Bible story.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, here we go. Here's the Califury.
I mean,
I-
yet again, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just his name.
Yeah, it's just
It's like they took these names, sent them to the comic, and then maybe like, okay, we'll write a little bit about the person, but otherwise we'll just leave it. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, his last name is Califiore.
2 seasons. This is the best we could do for this guy.
I know. I think it's like, and plus, like, it doesn't really make sense because he's not like a
He's not-
furious type of guy.
Right.
Like, he's
Not
not
at
a big
all.
tornado. Like, if it was someone who like was just like a whirlwind of like emotions and anger and like going around the house, like messing things up or whatever, like, okay, fine. But like, that's not him.
Now, here we have 3-time Big Brother player, potential 2-time winner of the game. The best we have for Nicole Franzel is her Sloppies costume
Yeah, it's
that nobody even remembers.
So
At the very least, it's about this season.
that's what I was just gonna say. At least it's about this season, but yeah, it's bad. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally on the Saturday roundtable, like Taryn had some of the names that they had mentioned, and he was like, "Oh, for Nicole, it was serial killer." I'm like, "Where did that come from?" Like, I literally forgot that was her
When I
costume.
first heard that, I thought back to, I was like, what is this? Does it have something to do with like Matt from Big Brother
Yeah.
19? Like, I was just like, what?
Yeah. It
And
leads throughout the season.
Okay.
And she was so mad about that comic.
That's
No,
one of the
I
really
think
wild ones.
this one's like the worst one possibly. It doesn't even look like
it
him.
doesn't look anything like him, and it's also like
Well,
really
hold on. Let's say what this
unflattering.
is for the podcast. It's Abra Curl Dabra.
Okay, there are so
This
many
is-
things wrong.
Okay, this is Tyler.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There are so many things wrong with this. Number one, it looks nothing like him.
Nothing.
Okay.
Number two, Abra Curl Dabra, that doesn't even make any sense.
Okay, let me just present to ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Exhibit A, production is not happy with Tyler this season.
They're like, make him as ugly as you possibly
You are the
can.
chosen one.
Tyler is an attractive man and he looks like a ghoul. He looks so gross.
They wanted you
so
to
bad.
have nice things this season. You screwed it up.
Okay, wait. And
if this were my BB comic, I think I would have cried. Like when I saw it, I truly think I would have been upset.
Also, okay, so like Meg points this out in the chat, which is that last night on the roundtable, I was complaining about how big everyone's muscles were. Like they made everyone like bulging and veiny muscles, except for him. He's like a little stick.
Yes,
So
because
one person.
that's not going to sell a cookbook.
They had to do that because of how they edited that one episode when he wanted to quit. They're like, "Oh, he's so frail."
Mhm.
He's so
Yeah.
skinny.
I think it's going to take a lot to top this one for me for worst one.
So bad. Like the name too. It's like
all bad.
abracadabra. Like that doesn't even abra curl dabra. First of all, abracadabra doesn't have anything to do with Tyler. Abra curl dabra. Like curl doesn't have anything to do with ka. So like I just it's just
And it's
bad
like,
all around.
that's a magician, not a superhero.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Poor Tyler. It's so bad.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Tyler.
I'd be
Let's
interested to
see.
see what his comic was when he played, like last time, because
Right.
was it that much better? Like, I wonder if they really painted him in like a very flattering light the first time, and now this time they're like super pissed off. So they're like, nope, he gets the worst one.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is the bandanimal. Here's
It's
Kevin.
so bad.
Okay.
So
No,
bad.
okay,
Reach.
I agree and disagree. Concept is atrocious. It's terrible. He looks fantastic. Okay,
Yes.
look at him.
Yes.
True.
Looks great.
So good. It actually like the Tyler one did not look like Tyler. This looks like Kevin.
It
It
does.
does.
With
I think-
the eyebrows up.
I
Like
think
in
that
the center.
the artwork is incredibly like aesthetically pleasing. Although I don't understand why there's like a dog in the corner. Does he have like a Boston
Does
Yeah.
he
Terrier
have
or
a dog?
something?
That looks like
Right.
your dog, Aisha.
But,
Right.
but I don't understand why there's a dog in the corner. But I think that he looks amazing. I think the concept is abysmal.
Yeah, it's like I get that he wears a bandana, but like, where are the animals coming into this?
Hmm.
Right. And other
Even-
people wore bandanas, like David.
Tyler wears
constantly.
bandanas.
Yeah. And then he's the leader of the pack. Absolutely not.
Before I saw this one, I saw someone tweet. They were like, "Oh, it's really crazy that they put Nicole in Kevin's comic," and I was like, "What?" And so I went to find the image, and then I saw the rat on the elephant's head, and I was like, "Okay, well."
That's a real stretch, also.
Look, like they should have. So someone, I don't remember who suggested this, like on Twitter or something, but they were like, they should have had him be like an undercover agent because he always has the blanket or
Right.
something, like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like something creative like that, and not like just that he wears a bandana. I swear, these are all based on the fact that they gave him a picture of them, said this
Mhm.
is their name and this is their occupation.
Or even like,
Do it.
Ah,
even like-
yes.
even like him as
Occupation.
Anita Vito would have been like such a fun one, or like something to do with that. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, that
Okay.
would have been so good.
That's all
Here
they
we
have.
go. Here's Memphis. Don't mess with the fistologist.
Once again, it literally only has to do with the fact that his name is Memphis.
Yeah. And like you
And
said,
his
if it,
occupation.
If
Well,
they
and-
gave
and-
his
and, like,
occupation, they
and, like,
got it wrong.
So it's like this one would have been fun for Big Brother 10 because that was his
Right,
job.
exactly. They got the wrong season.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Andy, he's wearing the denim vest that he wore earlier in the season. I think that they 2 weeks into the season, they said, all right, let's commission. This is what the BB comics are.
No, Nicole's the serial killer costume, which was like way further than that.
Was it that
I bet
far?
what they did was like all of these people, like who, like anyone who does, because it does seem like the main things that they did was anything that was related to this particular season was based on a costume. So it was like Ian and Nicole.
Right.
So then everyone else is like, it's if you don't get a costume, then like just take a picture of them and like let's get this over with. Let's like do these before we need to, so that way they have a lot of time to draw it or whatever. I don't know, but it just seems like they did it way in advance, or they just didn't care. I don't know.
It was like the artist was like, okay, what's Memphis' occupation? They're like, oh, he a restaurateur. Okay, well, no. What was his occupation in season 10?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like what
mixologist.
Perfect.
Yeah.
To be.
By the way, more on this comic when we get to the slop on later this week. We'll circle back to Memphis. Okay. Dirk Space Jammer, the newest hope for Ian.
I mean, I thought this one, like, if I were Ian, this one's kind of a bummer too. It's like just him in a costume. It has like nothing to do with his personality. At least it has to do with the season. I just think this one's boring.
Why is he the newest hope?
Like it's like a Star. I think it's a Star Wars reference. Like isn't one of them called Star Wars? Sorry, Star Wars, like A New Hope, isn't that?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I just feel like it really does seem like, so when this first started in Big Brother 16, it felt like they took so much care in like making sure that they really captured like the personality and like what the person's been doing in the house and like their home life too. Like I just remember for Zach's, like they had his little brother in there because he always talked about his little brother on the feeds, and it's like they had like all these things. And now I just feel like they're really phoning it in, like, which is disappointing just because like I love the Big Brother comics. I think that it's so fun. And I talked about this on the roundtable where it's like this and Zingbot. It's like, I do feel like that's one of the few times in the season where the house guests can get a little taste of like what people on the outside are thinking of them at this current moment. And it's like, and you get to know like if someone is loved or hated depending on like what they get as like their insult from Zingbot or their zing from Zingbot or their comic. And it's like here really tells you nothing. Like, I mean, the only one that maybe tells you something is Kaser's, but it's like King Kaser is like what people called him long ago. So it really doesn't have anything to do with this particular season. We just still call him King Kaser because he is a king. So like, I mean, I don't know.
No, I agree.
Okay. Here was the bombshell. Now, Nicole really did not like this one. Why does Janelle get to be the bombshell and I have to be the serial killer?
This was down for me too.
This one's bad too. Like what the bombshell? That's like Janelle has so many iconic things about her, and this is what I think this is a huge bummer.
Yeah, they could have put her.
She's pretty. She's attractive. Like, let's just use that. It's like that's fine. But there's so much more to her.
They could have put her Louboutins in there. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, why not put her in the star costume?
Yeah, exactly.
The all-star.
The all-star, the star of the season.
The all-star. That would have been so good.
That's way better.
The all-star. Yeah. Okay. King Kaser.
Yeah, I mean,
now, Melissa, you were seemed upset on the LFC roundtable the other night over that you felt like that Kaser is too ripped.
It's not that he's too ripped; it's that it's gross. Like the way it's drawn is like gross. Like it's bad. Like it's just it's not like an attractive muscular. It's like a bulging, protruding.
Andy, is Kaser too muscular here?
I actually agree with Melissa. Shockingly, I know. I think that Kaser's arm looks disgusting.
You would like to see him with more of a dad bod.
Much.
Yeah. Well, and I also think the hat is like weirdly placed. At first, I was like, "Is that his foot?" And then I was like, "No, his foot's below that." So I just think I think the artwork on this one is kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I literally was just staring at that. I'm like, "What is that?"
I thought it was like a weird thing growing out of him or something.
No, it looks like his femur is like sticking out.
Yeah. No, it took me a while to figure out what. I mean, I'm right. It is the bad guy's hat, correct?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
I
But
think it
why
looks
is
like
that guy wearing that hat?
Yeah, who's this
Girl,
bad
I
guy
don't
that he's
know, but-
fighting?
Like I truly
Also,
I had to stare at it for a while, and then I deduced that it was the hat.
I love
Yep.
how Kaiser tweeted about it and was like, "Wow, I get my first BB comic, and it's me doing the river dance."
Yeah, Lord of the Dance.
It's
Kaiser.
it's like the like straight leg kicks. Oh my god, and like the arms. It's just so like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Prime is royally screwed with King Kaiser. And then it's the birthday girl.
Okay, I like this one.
Slicing and icing evildoers.
To be fair, like I'm okay with them using a pass thing for Keisha because she went out
Right.
first week. She didn't really
Yeah.
have anything. So like, what
Yeah.
else are they gonna do? And
Yeah.
you know, it's fine.
Well,
I like this one.
Yeah.
but listen to this other shade from Cody.
King Kaiser.
Oh wait, no,
King
that's
of
the same
what?
one.
Don't make us listen to that again.
Who's this
Please.
blonde chick that was apparently on our season? Oh, that's right, Keisha. I sent her home in the first week. Big moves, Calafury.
Hold on. No, okay, so who is this blonde chick that first of all, she did nothing to Cody.
Nothing.
She was so nice. She was so nice to him, and she did nothing to him. She was just like and he's gonna shade her. And then is he shading himself there about how that like is he being facetious about what a big move that was?
Big moves, Calafury.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
shading himself.
Yeah,
I feel like he's not, but I feel like it does shake.
Oh, yeah,
It does
I,
shade.
I, yes, I think it was an accidental self-shade.
Yeah, look at me on
Self-own.
big moves,
Yeah.
Calafury over here, and we're all like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
Okay.
But then he
Yeah.
acts like he doesn't know who she is, but then he was so aware of Memphis making final two. So
Right.
like
Mhm.
same season.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Here, let's a couple more. This one is Mrs. Claus slashing through the snow. She liked this one.
I
why
feel bad.
why
for
is she
Christmas.
Freddy Krueger? This one's
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
I feel bad for her because it's like, okay, the only thing that people have on her is like her name. Like she's got to be sick of that by now. Like, I mean, come on.
I mean, there's
Oh
other
no,
things
it's
you could
Christmas.
use, but
She
I
loves
think,
it.
yeah, compared to that, then she's happy when people go with Christmas
True.
jokes. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
This
it looks
one-
nothing like her.
Yeah, it looks
No.
nothing like her. It doesn't have anything to do with the season. Like, fine, whatever.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this one.
And she's killing a snowman. Like, what did he do to anyone? You know,
Yeah.
like he's no criminal.
No, yeah. When I saw it, I was like, she's Freddy Kruegering a snowman. I don't get it. Like why is that's not a super? That's not like a superhero would do. That snowman looks nice.
Yeah, like look at him. He's shocked. He's totally surprised. And she just
Yeah, he does look
murdered
pretty
him.
sad.
She's
Yeah.
murdering innocent snowmen. It's just awful.
Yeah, he's holding no weapon or anything.
Yeah.
Like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, like they didn't even have him like holding a knife or something. Like at the very least, he could be holding a knife, and then it's like, well, you know, maybe
Or, like,
there was something
even, like,
going on.
Slant his eye. Like make him look angry
Yeah.
and mad. Like he's just shocked.
Give him red eyes or something. This
Right.
poor snowman,
Yes.
totally caught off guard.
And you don't even need to cut up a snowman like that. You could just like throw some hot liquid on him. That'll melt
Yeah.
him also.
Push him over.
That's superpower. Okay. All right. Then, the regulators are here.
Okay, so
Danny.
Ugh.
I think the concept is kind of funny, like to be honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, it has absolutely nothing to do with her this season. But I still think it's a little funny.
I think
Yeah.
look, I think it's funny, but I feel like it has it. I would feel bad if I was Danny because I'd be like, wait, so I literally did nothing to warrant.
They could have made
any
her the
sort of
gardener.
comic this season. The gardener, it's an easy
Yes.
one.
Yeah,
But-
planting seeds. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the
go ahead,
artist
Adrian.
clearly the artist watched old school Big Brother, because if you think about the old school players, their comics were all referencing their first seasons, and then these newer ones are like, okay, with their name.
Right.
Mhm.
I honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the person was just like a big fan of the previous seasons and was just
Yeah.
like, I want to like do something for their previous persona, not like the new season. But I mean,
Yeah.
We love to see Lawan, Cassie, and Keith and Dominic representation. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That is-
Keith's
did they ever
angel.
think they were gonna get a comic?
Right.
I saw-
Danny's gonna hate this though.
Yeah.
So she's for sure gonna hate this.
I saw a great tweet that Lawan finally got his superpowers this week.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
Handsome-fied, yes. There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Boy.
Then we had Daydream. This is the
Okay.
one that everybody hates.
I still think this one's better than Tyler because she at least looks good. But the concept is truly baffling.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, Melissa, I heard you on the LFC roundtable last night talking about this, how you really didn't like it. Did it help at all that they played the clip of Davon talking about how everybody can go find a bed because she's going to put them to sleep?
No. I just feel like it's like this has nothing to do with her. Like, I mean, I don't think they were thinking about that when they made this comic. I just feel like it just doesn't even make any sense.
okay, so what I'm trying to make sense of what's happening. And so what it seems like is happening to me is she has entered this man's room and tied him up with some sort of psychedelic rope that has knocked him out and made him dream, and she has accepted his dream and she's beating him up. Like, or I don't understand. Like, and also, why is he dreaming about being beaten up by Davon?
Yeah, it like seems to like it.
Right.
Like,
yeah, he looks like
He's like, it's like it really
ooh, yeah. Like,
ooh, la, la. Tie me up. Like, yeah, it does seem a little odd. I don't know. I'm not
or like, oh wait. No, now I'm getting it. Okay, I think so. She's making his dream a reality, so she's doing it in his dream, and it's happening to him in real life. I mean, you shouldn't have to think this hard about like thinking in this comic.
Daydream. Yes.
I guess.
If I were her, I would like kind of like it because like, she looks good, but I would be like, well, that's a stupid concept. But
Irrelevant.
Your dreams will become a reality.
Wait, what's with all the like we had Christmas with Freddy Krueger gloves. This is like a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, what is with all the like Freddy Krueger stuff happening here?
They're big fans, apparently. But honestly, it does look like he's enjoying it.
Like,
100%. I mean, we can all admit this guy.
Maybe they should have gone with the comic book 50 Shades of Day, is what you're saying.
That would
That's
actually,
what
like,
this
if you
looks like.
called it that, if you just like replace the Daydream with that, I wouldn't have questioned it. I would have been like,
leave everything else the same.
Like, leave everything else the same. This is exactly what it's showing to me right now.
Oh, it's because she throws shade. She's 50 Shades of Day.
Oh, that's pretty good. You should be one of the comic book writers.
Rob.
Consult with me.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And then the meow meow. Don't let this cat get your tongue.
This one unnerved me. I don't care for this one.
Just like the body once again.
Yeah.
We've got too
I don't
much
like that.
detail. There's too many lines.
Too much.
His face is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so long.
Yeah,
Andy, it looks like Enzo stepped right out of the Taylor Swift reboot of Cats.
No, I took an edible on Sunday with my old roommate. We watched it.
Yes.
And even watching it high, it's really rough.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where Rebel Wilson is biting cockroaches' heads off, and the cockroaches have human faces. It's truly some wild stuff. But yeah, this is really upsetting. I don't like this one.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Very disturbing.
Enzo would approve of your use of the pot.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there.
That's what I was going for before. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Those are the BB comics. And then here's one other one that a listener sent in that they worked on a Rob Cesternino comic. I've never had this before. Here's
oh my god!
Yeah, I retweeted this.
Is that just a photo of you from earlier today? That looks exactly like you.
Yeah, I said nailed it. That it says Robbio. It's me shirtless, like I would be on the cover of some sort of like a paperback romance novel, and the caption says I'm trying to read what it says. It says the writing.
Saving damsels one podcast at a time.
Yeah.
I wish they had your plaid shirt like hanging over your shoulder.
Oh yeah, that would have been so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very high-waisted
I was gonna say
also. Really got the mom jeans going on here.
Jeans, yeah. It's a look for
the definition is appropriate though.
I do feel like the lack of detailing in the like lines of the arm is very nice.
Okay, oh, so you feel like that's what you would like to see?
I feel like that's an appropriate level of
than
like
King K
arm
Star.
You looked kind of like a human, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to see what we had for Tyler from BB20?
Yeah.
Okay. This was the Tyler comic from BB20. Here you go. He was the Life Guardian. Here he is.
Right, let's see what he look. Yeah, see, look at that. Look at those muscles.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. Like
They
I
liked
like
him better back then, that's for sure.
I wish he had like a side by side of this one and the
Whatever.
one.
Whatever.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's just They clearly are feeling a certain way about Tyler this
Right.
season.
Asia, do you feel like it was a huge advantage for Nicole that she's had this competition before?
Absolutely. She's won it once already. She was close to winning it the other time she played it. And so she knew exactly what to look for. So I remember when she went across, she only had to go across like twice to get the people in order. And then she knew what to look for once she realized the details. And so obviously, like anybody who's done this competition multiple times would be at a huge advantage.
I mean, so many of the competitions on the show have a learning curve. It's like once you do it a couple times, you're very good at it. And so I totally understand that.
Yep.
Okay. Nicole will not use the power of veto, and it's going to be Christmas versus Memphis up on the block for Thursday night. Andy, do you have a strong feeling as to who the alliance of three should be getting rid of?
I mean, I think they are going to get rid of Memphis. I think
that's the right move.
I think that's very good for Nicole. I don't know if it's good for Cody and Enzo. I still think it's fine. Like, I think it's probably better for Cody to get out Christmas, but I don't think he's going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's in Cody and Enzo's best interest to get out Christmas, and it's in Nicole's best interest to get out Memphis. So they're doing her a huge solid if they do vote out Memphis, because they are going to be screwed if Christmas ends up winning HOH.
Or I feel like especially screwed if Christmas wins veto. If Christmas
exactly.
If Christmas wins veto and not HOH, Cody's toast for sure.
Okay. Let's take some questions from the listeners. I think we got a lot tonight because we said Andy was coming on. Let's see. This is from a listener, Nicole Sivek. Why is Nicole squatting in the pantry in a cat dress? Okay, is this a live feed update?
No, she was in the pantry. She was squatting in the pantry in a cat dress in the episode.
Okay, yes.
There were a lot of questions about this cat dress.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yes. Okay. Well, let me see. Somebody send it to me on Twitter, the Nicole's cat dress, and we can take a look at it.
Yeah, it's whatever she did the ceremony.
I mean, I was about to be like, I don't hate it, but then look what I'm wearing. So.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice
Fashion icon. She looked amazing. Stunning, honey.
All right, we'll come back. Send it to my mentions, and then I'll bring it up on the screen. Okay. Just Joe says, seriously, what is Cody's problem with Kaser? Yeah, going all the way back to the first night of the season.
Kaser.
Yeah.
Wow. We should have known.
We should have known. Yeah, he seems like you know what he did, Andy? He called out the love triangle.
He did.
That was in
And back in the day, Kaser was that guy. Like he still is. He was so handsome. And Cody is that guy of the newer big brother. And so maybe he secretly knows that. And he's like, no, I'm the
you
charming
think Cody's
one.
a player hater?
Yeah, exactly.
That he was the old hotness, and that you feel like that this is like a Nicole and Janelle feud for Cody and Kaser?
Exactly.
Wow.
Very well, because nothing else makes sense. Like, why are you so obsessed with that man?
I think that he was indifferent, and then I think that once he called out the love triangle, I think that was I feel like that was a red line for Cody.
Yeah.
That really made people mad.
Yeah, nobody liked that.
I think Kaser is one of those things. I think Kaser thought nothing of it, but it just made people furious. So
I think he was just trying to call out the fact that it was 3 people,
right?
And everyone's like, "Whoa, love." No.
Okay.
Like,
Here's Nicole. Like, yeah, I don't know why she was been squatting in the pantry.
You don't? I think it's very clear why she was.
Yes.
Yeah,
What do you
I mean,
think? That
the
does she
picture-
want to walk in on Enzo in the bathroom,
the
Andy?
picture explains itself, really. All we have to do is look at this and really
Yeah.
understand what's going
Who
on.
hasn't? I used to do that all the time when I was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you squat in the pantry in a cat dress. Everyone does it. That's the thing.
Andy, can we also just speak to? I've talked about this earlier in the season. They have so much produce in this. I mean, look at if you went into a grocery store, you
Like a
wouldn't see a
Ralph's.
spread like that.
No, it's that.
Did you have that, Andy?
No, we definitely did not. I think they've gotten much better with like giving them more food over. Like it's like so crackers are by far my favorite snack. I like Cheez-Its, Goldfish, like wheat thins. I just don't love plain Triscuits. Like I like flavored Triscuits. Even.
Boy, the Triscuits really bother you, Andy.
The
The
only
second
crackers-
time they've come up.
The only crackers they would give us were plain Triscuits, and I was like, please, I like crackers and I don't like these. Can we have any other crackers? And they wouldn't.
They're
I
like,
mean,
the
now-
goldfish is out of our
It
budget.
makes me mad, like when I watch the season now and I see them getting what they want. But yeah, our pantry was never stocked with produce like that.
Yeah, they get stuff to make poke bowls, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Did you see all those avocados?
Yeah.
Didn't you see my like complete confusion when you mentioned that? I was like, there's no way they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ahi
Okay.
tuna. Sushi
All right.
grade.
Yes. Torrance says, is tonight's tea kettle segment the dumbest of the beloved Dum Dum segments? Asia, is this the dumbest segment that we've had this season?
You know what? I will say Cody thinking a Texan is an animal
Yeah.
kind of takes the
Yeah.
cake.
I think that's way
the
dumber.
dumbest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are our two front runners, folks.
Even worse than this.
Where does the term in-law, like sister-in-law, come from?
Oh yeah,
Oh, boy.
that was rough too.
It's like every week they want to give us a new Dum Dum segment.
Yeah, but Cody's eating it up. He knows what he's doing. He told
sure.
he told either Enzo or I think told Nicole. He was like, "Yeah, I'm getting like the dumb edit," and he's like, "I know it's just giving me more TV time."
Yeah.
So-
and
You
which
wanna be
it
known
equates
for.
to more followers. So
Right.
don't love that part of it.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Then this is from Schmitty0404. So is Tyler's comic his punishment for wanting to leave the game early or what?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
say yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Although
All
I
right,
still,
hey.
feel like I still feel like they love to. I don't know. Yes, but I still think production likes Tyler.
I think they were hoping he would come around and then ultimately go on a run. But now that he didn't, they're like, all right,
Right.
we're done. We're done with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. From Sheldon, what's the over-under on how many times the players went across the BB comic zip line? Any hacks for this challenge? If we were going to, Andy, put a point on what Nicole was able to do, what was the secret to the Nicole strategy?
I mean, I think Melissa touched on it. I think it was only going across a couple times and figuring out the order. Like, I think once you have that, that's like not. It doesn't seem like a lot of people did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the key is like it does seem that the best thing to do is first put them all up on the board in the correct
In
order,
order, right?
one in front of the other.
Yep.
Then you can go through and be like, okay, what is the difference between these two? Okay, what is the difference between these two? And then kind of just like go and see like, okay, I spot that difference. I spot that difference.
Okay.
And then all you have to do is just remove them.
Switch them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or like switch them around if they're wrong.
So
Right.
would you say that the secret is a couple of trips and a couple of flips?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just something
Double,
up.
triple flipping.
yeah. Double, triple dipping. Yeah.
Double, triple.
Did the Big Brother announcer here on Monday night and take your pumpkin spice pun? I couldn't pull the sound clip for that, but yeah, they did say that Nicole won the pumpkin spice power after. Andy, did you hear the other night when the announcer man said that it was somebody was going to Jacko land on the block?
Yeah, I did. I sure did.
When I first heard the announcer say like that she won the pumpkin spice power, I was like, wait, there's a power? Wait, what's going on? Like,
No.
I did not understand that he meant.
I was like not paying that much attention, and then I heard that, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was the exact same way.
Power?
Mhm. Yeah. Look, we've got puns for days on this show if they want to hear more stuff for the opening cry. Then Tyler, Kaser, Janelle, David for AFP. I think you got to pick a horse there. What would have been your strategy in this specific cast? Who would you have aligned with to win? Okay, Andy, let's talk this through. If you were in the Big Brother 22 house, how would you have approached this?
I would have immediately. Okay, so let's just posit that I won like an early HOH or something, because let's just say that.
Sure.
I would have targeted men. I would have targeted the strong, straight, athletic white men. I would have nominated Tyler and Cody immediately first week. I would have worked with I would have literally been like, if you're a woman, you are safe with me for the first 8 weeks of this game. I will not target a woman. I would have wanted to work with Ian and Kaser if we're talking about working with men. I basically would have wanted to work with everybody that did not do very well this season, except for I would have worked with Nicole and Danny for sure, like, because I know them in real life. Like, Danny is my really good friend. Like, I want to say that if I were in there, I would have gotten Danny to work with the other side of the house, because I think that like she would have listened to me over like some of the people in that bigger alliance. But the problem is that none of the people that I would have wanted to work with were winning anything. But like I said, going in, just my strategy, if I would have just gone in night one and seen everyone, would have been target the strong men, because that is the group of people that always bands together, and that's exactly what they did. I would have targeted Tyler and Cody week one, and it wouldn't have mattered to me which one went home.
Andy, what went wrong for Danny this season?
I mean, I feel like she like overlearned her lesson from Big Brother 13. I feel like she really wanted to lay low and like not cause waves, but also I think that she very much overestimated her ability to manipulate people. I do not think she's as good at it as she thinks that she is. And this is coming from like her very good friend. I like talked to Dom about this. I truly just think that she thought that she was running the show and she wasn't, and she got too comfortable. And I mean, that's what happens when she got too comfortable. And when you get too comfortable, you get completely blindsided. And that's what happened to her. You know, I mean, it was crushing for me to watch because I wanted her to do well, but she overestimated her abilities to win people over, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay. And with you saying, go ahead. Okay, I was going to say, with you saying you would have gotten her to work with the other side of the house, it seemed like she genuinely liked them better. Like, that's the problem with the committee. Like, she didn't, like, it wasn't like she would get along with them normally. No. Like, they weren't her type of people.
That's the problem. It's like, you want to work with the people that you like because you actually establish bonds with them. It's like, Danny didn't have any sort of a bond whatsoever with Christmas or Memphis. It's like, if I were in there, I would have been like, hey, Davon and Nicole Anthony, like, they're awesome. And I also think that, like, I mean, I want to hope that like I could have steered their wrong reads in the right direction. Like, I'm obsessed with Nicole Anthony, and I think if I were in there with Nicole Anthony, I would have been like, "Girl, no! Like, what are you talking about? You are wrong. Janelle and Kaser are not coming after you. Stop!" Like, you know, if I'm good at anything in the Big Brother house, it's like reading the other people and like knowing what's going on. And I think that I could have steered some of those incorrect reads in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's take another question. This is from Queen Parvati. Christmas was clocking the house in her DRs tonight. Is she our last hope to take out Cody? Well, Melissa, how much credit should we be giving to Christmas for having the house clocked?
I mean, I will say that her and Enzo have been having conversations. I mean, Enzo has these types of conversations about everybody, like, oh, we got to take out this person, we got to take out that person, and then never actually follows through. But Christmas has been saying that they need to take out Cody because they can't beat him. So there has been discussion about that. I don't know if any of that will happen or if any of that is really, you know, if any of it's genuine. It could just be something that they're saying for now, and then they truly intend to take him. But it does seem like Christmas would take out Cody. I mean, if she stays this week and Memphis goes home, it seems like she would be interested. It does seem to me that she'd be genuine in wanting either Nicole or Enzo with her in the final three.
I think for sure she would take out Cody. Like, I really do. I think for sure she would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the right move.
Yeah.
Like, she should take out Cody. I mean, so should everybody. So
yeah.
But I don't know how she could not see that move. I feel like that for her, out of anybody, like I feel like that's the person. It's just
well,
like
especially because she doesn't have anything. She doesn't have anything with Cody. Like the other people at least feel like Cody has their back, but like, I mean, Christmas doesn't have any connection to Cody.
Yeah. But in terms of having the house clocked, I mean, it's 5 people left. She's on the block. Like she knows what's going on.
You don't have to
Yeah.
be a lunette to know what time it is.
You don't need to figure out much for that.
Right. Tara Renee says, what do Nicole's boss pants look like?
They have a bunch of dogs on them.
Yeah. Did Nicole say she was going to put her boss pants on?
I must have missed this.
Christmas when
Christmas
she was trying to get Nicole to use the veto, was like, it's time to put your boss pants on in order to put up Cody.
Would have been a real big turnoff for me if someone was like telling me like, it's time to put your boss pants on. I was like, no, like, okay, now I'm not going to be doing that because I'm totally just no.
Yeah. That's like the thing about being in the Big Brother house. Someone says something like that and you have to be like, oh yeah, you are so right. Oh my God, I am going to go and I am going to get them. And in your head, you're like, shut up.
Yeah, you're like, I will put my boss pants on. Like,
yeah. By the way, going back to the cat dress, one of our listeners, Amanda Burton, sent me a tweet that said that this is up right now on Poshmark. Somebody has the cat dress on Poshmark, originally purchased because Nicole from BB wore it. So you can get the Iron Fist it says car dress but I think that's a typo, with Peter Pan collar, $16
on sale.
Yeah,
that's $55.
The description says baby pink cat dress with Peter Pan style collar, original purchase because Nicole from Big Brother wore it, in great condition, only worn twice, fits about 2 to 6 depending on how flowy you prefer.
Wow. You should buy it, Rob.
$bucks on Poshmark. Yeah. Okay. All right. I would, I could wear it like a shirt, I think.
For sure.
It's flowy. I mean, it depends how flowy you want it. So
yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's take another question. This one is from Nate. Christmas seemed to get somewhat of a winner edit tonight. Could the jury be pulling for her more than we think? Asia, have you noticed anybody getting a better edit than anybody else now in the home stretch?
Well, at first I was thinking, like, before Tyler went out, that Tyler was getting that like America's Favorite Player edit. But right now, like, Enzo is definitely getting that like likable edit, because we don't see likable, but not so much the winner edit.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the competitions are speaking for themselves in terms of people making moves. So like Cody, how can anyone not see that at this point he's on the path to win this game? Mm-hmm. So I don't think in terms of the edit that anyone's getting more so than anyone else, but that's from my standpoint.
Can I say that, Melissa, I know you have been the first person to arrive at this, but I think that Nicole is really getting a mastermind edit here. And I think that if we were in that production booth, if we were trying to guess who is production, I know that they're always indifferent and objective, but I think that if they were pulling for anybody, I think they want a Nicole win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think so. I mean, first of all, I do think it makes for the more interesting story, because it was like, okay, she wasn't really doing much. And then it's like a come from behind kind of story where it's like, she was on the block twice or the triple, and then she wins. And now she's, she wins the HOH, she wins the veto, she gets Memphis out, then she starts getting other people out. And as she's talking to the cameras and you see her talk to the cameras about like what she's thinking, you see her, in the diary room saying like, who's an all-star now or whatever, like who deserves to be in this all-star house. Like, I just feel like it's like there is a narrative there where it's like she starts off being like, oh, I don't know, I don't get the credit, whatever. And then you like continually see her like build up the story. I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, this was her in the diary room tonight.
Now I'm definitely all-star material, right?
I mean, Nicole,
right? Please.
This is your third time. Who hurt you? You're an all-star.
See, that's why it's been so, and I guess it's been working, but I just, as a former winner, it's been weird for me to watch her play, just because I feel like she's been she's had no fun whatsoever. It looks like she's been miserable the whole season. And if you've already won once, I would go in and just, I would have fun. Mm-hmm. And I guess if I went out like week 3, I went out week 3, but I would not be as miserable as she's been. It's been so weird to watch. Like, I feel like she has nothing to prove.
It's like you can't, yeah, exactly. You've already won. You can't take that win away from you. So like, why not go in and just like, balls to the wall, just like do whatever you can do, make good TV. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know.
I mean,
he's playing too safe.
Too, I feel like Ian played way too safe too. I thought both of the winners were kind of disappointing from an entertainment perspective this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I do remember a commercial leading up to this episode tonight that was like highlighting what's going on in the game, and then it was like, it's her game now. I'm talking about Nicole since she was HOH. Okay. So yeah, maybe they are.
Yeah. I think that people are too low on Nicole's chances. I think everybody's got their eyes on Cody, and I think Nicole has a better chance than people are giving her credit for to swoop in there and win this thing.
I mean, we've seen the past few seasons that the person we think is going to be the winner for like an extended period of time, and we're all like, the season's his or the season's hers. It's not theirs. So, I really think that there could be an upset.
Yeah. Do you mind? Can we go back to my comic book again real quick?
Wow, Rob, you want to show it again?
Yeah, I just wonder because I'm feeling like that maybe that I'm thinking, Andy, tell me if I'm crazy, but I feel like that maybe that I look like somebody else.
From what I knew of Victor on BB22, he was this long-haired, salsa dancing, no shirt on ever because he was ripped ladies man.
I mean,
Rob, you look like Victor from Big Brother 18.
Yeah,
you don't look like neutered Victor now.
Now I'm like holy cheese.
Right.
I mean, if Cody saw my comic, he'd be like, "Hey, what happened to that guy?"
Rob's like, I'm sorry, can we just show the comic one more time? Hey, I mean, can we also like zoom in on like the abs? Like, is that accurate? Like, we all
No, I'm just saying that I felt like that because Cody was so down on Victor the other night.
So down.
Yeah.
Cody's a smack talker. Cody talks about everybody, it seems like.
But I'm glad someone said it, because if you look at Victor today, that man is unrecognizable.
Right, oh, agreed.
So.
Hey, he's an ugly football coach now, Asia.
He's fitting into the town.
Holy
he's happily engaged. Also, like when he posted something on Instagram or whatever, like defending, not like defending, but just being like, yeah, I'm happy. Like, Cody can suck it or whatever. He didn't say that.
Oh, he said that?
No, he didn't say that. But it was like some sort of like tweet of him being like happily engaged. Like, this is the new me or whatever. And he had a picture of him with, I'm assuming like his niece or something, but like, the way it was framed was like he had like his arms around her and she's like here and she's a young child and it says happily engaged on it and it looks like he's engaged to that little girl. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh man.
Okay. It was just not a great hashtag with the visual. It was just like, okay, too much.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta see if we can find. Was that a story or that was a post?
I think it was a story. I don't know. I saw it on Reddit.
All right. Okay. All right.
See if I can find it.
All right. Let's take some more questions. Jonathan says, if Nicole's cat dress as a secret message indicating her allegiance to the meow meow. Okay.
Now, if anybody listens to Taryn every morning, there's no world where Nicole and Enzo take each other to the final two. So absolutely not.
Well, do you think that there's a chance? Because I feel like that there is a non-zero chance that Nicole would cut Cody.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely no way. Like, okay, even look at the beginning of this episode tonight. She goes up to Christmas. She's like, "You're not mad, right? You get it." Nominating her. There's no way she's going to be able to look Cody in his eye and say, I'm voting to evict you. So I
think she could, though, because here that Nicole, I do think, is always self-interested, and I think she's saying all the right things to Cody. But we heard her tonight talk about how I could be the game's first 2-time winner. Like, I think that people are underestimating just how badly she wants this, where she could put herself, here's all the other Big Brother players, here's all the other Big Brother winners, here's Nicole. She would have something over everybody. She would be the Big Brother legend over Dr. Will, over Derek, over all over Andy Herron, over all these people. And she would have that. And I think that do not underestimate how bad she wants this. I think she would do it.
I think we know this. but I personally do not think that she has the guts to do it. We want her to do it.
I think that it seems like it's more of a clear, great shot from an outside perspective. I don't know if she's going to do it either.
Okay, we'll see. I say don't be surprised on finale night if she does it.
I mean, if she does, I would love it.
I'll be so proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. And then let's take such great questions tonight. Here is Noah Markowitz, the great Noah Markowitz. Andy, as one of the few who has successfully done it, what's the secret to overthrow a big house alliance? How did you get the outsiders to realize they were actually the outsiders and take down the power?
I mean, it's all about establishing good relationships with people. I feel like if people like you and they trust you, you can, like, I truly meant, like, I was like, okay, like, clearly I've been working with these people, but I was like, the whole game, I was working with like Helen and Amanda, who were the controlling alphas, but at the same time, I was always working with the outsiders as well, just being, I always positioned myself, even though I was in the big alliance, as an outsider. I was like, everyone has their own little pair. Helen has Alyssa, Amanda has McCrae. I don't have anybody. And then when I just kind of rang all of the outsiders up, they were like, yeah, this makes sense. We've all been outsiders the whole game. Why don't we work together? And it's just because I really was like cultivating those relationships while I was with the Power Alliance, you know? Like, okay. It seems like a lot of these players just disregard all of the players that aren't in their alliance. And it's just like, don't do that, because like, it's like if Danny had not done that, I feel like she could have had a better shot later down the road at actually having people to work with once she realized that she was on the bottom, you know?
Mm-hmm. Andy, I have from Melissa the picture of Victor from Victor. Here is Victor's response to the Califury. And here's what Victor says. He says, may not be the old BB Vic, but I love my life. Hashtag adulting. Hashtag happily engaged. Well, first off, hashtag adulting makes it sound like that this is his kid. Also,
I didn't realize how absurd this photo was.
It's just like when you say it's like hashtag happily engaged, and you would normally put a picture of you with the person you're engaged to.
He's like an 8-year-old.
But also hashtag adulting makes it sound like that this is his child.
He's engaged to his daughter.
Also, wearing a hat in the picture.
Oh my god, it's just so funny. I saw the picture and I was like,
Oh, this is really funny. I did not realize it was this funny. Okay, I like this.
No, it's too much.
Yeah.
Like behind her.
Okay. It sounds like maybe Victor could use a social media influencer in the house to like good post, bad post.
Right, no.
I feel like it's like that picture on its own is fine. It's just the hashtags that make me like totally like, wait, what?
Hashtag best niece ever. Fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like a totally different vibe. Like best niece ever versus happily engaged.
Hashtag adulting. Okay. All right. Hit by a car, Claire. Oh, how are you, hit by a car, Claire? How do you feel?
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, no, she's fine. How do you feel that the most likely winner of Big Brother 22 saying counting to 6 is not easy?
Oh my god.
Who is that? Who said that? Cody?
Cody.
Yeah,
we've already established that we're not going to have this. I don't think any of these remaining 5 people are very smart.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a dummy winner and we just have to accept it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, that's not even the worst thing Cody said this season. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Scott, do we have any other questions? Okay. I'll take that as a no. All right. We haven't talked about the live feeds. I don't think there's a lot to talk about, but I guess we should talk about who's likely going to. So let me play the song real quick, and we can talk about that as we look ahead to tomorrow night. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see. Maybe we want another question here. This is from Josh Creek. Mm-hmm. Who would Andy pitch, or what would Andy pitch as the next Big Brother drunk history for Melissa?
Oh my gosh, I've actually thought about this. Jennifer turning on Kaser, Big Brother 6, the pressure cooker. I want
pressure cooker. Yeah. That would be a lot of wigs.
I want to do it. I'm wondering. I was trying to think like so. I want to film it like in my house, obviously, or like in my apartment. So like, but I do have like like this whole corner here is glass windows, and now I'm just thinking like I could turn that into the pressure cooker. It could work. I could figure it out. The thing is that okay, so I will be honest, like I tried to film like the description part, like where I'm drunk describing it, of like Rockstar's daughter's birthday and what was the other one I did? Oh, Taco Tuesday.
Oh, that's okay. That was that.
But the problem is those are like tiny little things.
Right.
So it's like a 2-second thing where I'm like, okay, he said this, she said that, he said that, and it's like two people arguing in each situation that like it ends so quick. So I feel like those could be like little like quick bites or something, but like I can't turn a whole thing into that. So it's got to be a long one. And I think pressure cooker.
It's like, could you also just do kind of like the whole week? It's like you could do the pressure cooker and then her lying and turning on him. And then like Janelle, her throwing the key on the ground, like.
Yeah, I feel like pressure cooker could be a good one because it's not just the pressure cooker. I feel like the Taco Tuesday and the Rockstar's daughter's birthday are just like very quick fights, and that's what the big deal is that they're like a fight. But those fights are not like Keisha's birthday, which lasted like for like 12 minutes of the episode, you know. So those are okay. I'll keep pressure cooker in mind. That's a good one.
Let me throw out Danielle Reyes versus Jerry. Wash your hands.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
Yes,
that's
Brother
good.
3.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Let's talk about what's going on the live feeds as we talk about tomorrow night's vote. If you're leaving us now, we had a lot of fun here tonight. Hope you could join us again tomorrow night after the eviction. Maybe we'll have a special surprise tomorrow night for you too. Okay. All right. Let's talk about our spoilers.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
a spoiler.
Warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
spoiler
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
Oh, yes. The spoilers.
That was a good spoiler dance. And I liked all the props. Asia had her little like tea kettle.
Yes, spoilers are hot.
Oh, whistles.
Yes. Okay. All right, Melissa, not a lot going on, right?
No. No, not a lot. I mean, there is the possibility that something could happen, but at this point, it just seems like Memphis is going to be leaving, and that's that.
And Asia, he doesn't know, right?
He has no idea.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, right.
Something.
Enzo and Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, Enzo and Cody talked to earlier. They were like, "Should we tell him?" And Cody's like, "No. We should just blindside him." So I hope they stick to that because finally, a real reaction.
That would be good.
Okay. Andy, will Memphis react? He's been so nonchalant with everything all season long because he thinks, "Oh, I've got another wise guy. See you later, Christmas. You know, nice to know, nice knowing you." And will he be actually pissed when he gets voted out?
I hope so. It would be fun. I don't like him, and so it would be fun to watch, and just it would give us good TV. So yeah, I hope he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Melissa, will Christmas and Memphis? There's been a lot of talk about the flirtmance this week. Do you think that this will be a bittersweet goodbye for Christmas?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think that Memphis might be like upset with Christmas. Like, I just feel like
why?
I feel like he thinks he's in a much better spot than she is. And I think that if he finds out that really like she was in a better spot than he was and all these people were pulling one over on him, I kind of feel like I start to feel like he's going to be like, okay, I'm okay with the guys doing this because it's a good game move. I'm a great player, but I'm upset that Christmas, who I thought was in a worse off spot than me, who I thought was like leading Christmas around. Like I thought I was leading Christmas around, but really like she had her own thing going on. And I feel like that could be something that makes him upset, even though it shouldn't make him upset like at all. But I could see that being a situation unless he's just mad at the guys. So really like, who knows with Memphis, like he kind of could go either way. There's really no predicting what he's going to do.
Yeah. Okay. AJ, anything else to be on the lookout for tomorrow night on the live show?
We can look out for Julie, telling Memphis, you were running the game since day one. What happened?
And Memphis, you made it to final 2 and you didn't get a single vote, Memphis.
Yes. You know, this is a lot different than my last season. Yes. Where you lost to Dan Giesling.
Unanimous vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who then went on to lose to Ian in Big Brother 14.
Yes.
We'll just go through the whole history.
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
God.
yeah,
Oh, I know a God. Yes.
Julie's interviews have been really weird.
Yeah. I feel like it's like I think she like wants to make them feel better about leaving, so she like brings up like a good memory from their previous season, like to like offset the sadness that they feel for being evicted. But like it's kind of weird because it's like, okay, we'll talk about this season. Like we know what they did before.
It is not it. That's for sure. It is not.
Yeah. I just think she wants to like drop a fact, like, oh, here's something I know about you.
Right.
Here's something I know about Big Brother.
I feel like she knows I don't think she knows too much about Big Brother. I don't really think she's that invested. So I think it's interesting. Like literally after I won, she was just like, good job. And then she like walked off the stage and that's all anybody saw of her like after our season.
And do you think that we will see the jury house again tomorrow? We only saw it last week.
I do. I think we will for sure. I think they know that that's what we want.
It's probably going to be half the episode.
Show, yeah. Like
I don't know. I think we skip a week and I think we come back to it next Thursday.
Rob, do not put that into the universe, Rob. I disagree. We're going to get the jury house tomorrow.
I mean,
like, what else are they going to show?
I have no idea because we still have so many episodes of Big Brother to go. I mean, we have Thursday night, and then we have the full slate next week of Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I feel like we'll get Tyler coming to the jury house, and then I think next week we'll get Memphis coming to the jury house.
Yeah, I feel like they could fill time by just doing jury segments. Like, even if they're just short, like
especially because they were saying last week that Tyler was now running the house. There would be plenty to talk about
for sure.
Yeah. Because basically, that I don't know what they'll give us here for. I mean, it's not like that the Memphis and Christmas campaigning has been off the charts or anything like that, right?
Not really.
No, he's just confident.
Yeah, I feel like it's like there is a little bit of discussion, but not enough to fill a whole episode. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
I wonder, could we get maybe a home segment? Could we do like a check-in with Victor or something like that, Andy?
Over Zoom?
I don't know. I want a jury segment over that for sure.
Okay. All right. Let's see. A couple other questions for tonight. This is from Bethany. Do you guys think Nicole, in her goodbye message to Memphis, should tell him that Cody and Enzo told her about the Wise Guys Alliance, cover her bases if she's in the end with Enzo or Cody? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good idea.
Should.
Always cover your bases.
I heard about the Wise Guys.
Yeah, I feel like the goodbye messages.
There was two of them. You didn't know about both.
It's a good place to like, get the information out there that you want people to know. Like, I mean, plus they're going to show that, like they show some of the goodbye messages, and like they're going to show stuff if you reveal information about the gameplay. Like they're going to show it.
Yeah.
And Josh, who, I mean, I don't want to put a challenge spoiler out there. So, the season could be over or whatever, but he's back on Twitter and he's like, when are they going to run me my check for, revealing things, using the goodbye messages as strategy?
Oh, please.
He was not the first.
Exactly. Yeah, please.
No. That is not invented by him.
I would like do it and be like, please show them this. Like I was like, I know you're only showing like 4 or 5. Like, please show Amanda this one. Like, I really need her to see this. Yeah.
Okay. Andy, anything else about Big Brother 22 you want to get off your chest tonight?
No, I think we've covered a lot. I'm like this overall, like RHEP has been like a bright spot of the season for me. It's been like much more entertaining and fun than the actual show. So it's like it's fun to be here.
Hopefully, the audience is venting with us and not at us.
Right.
Yeah. Asia, anything else that you want to add tonight?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, I think the only thing that would make it interesting at this point is, we're expecting Cody to win. So if something throws a wrench in that plan, then I would love to see it. If Cody wins, then it's going to be pretty smooth sailing from here. Not much entertainment. But if someone actually is able to get him out, it's going to be interesting to watch. So maybe something like that will happen.
Andy, will you send an email to Cody and welcome him to the Winners Club if he becomes the winner of Big Brother?
No, I've never done that to anybody.
Welcome. Just want to welcome to the club, champ.
if I got that email from someone, I would think they were not okay. So I'm not gonna do that.
Sending you positive vibes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about what's going on. Melissa, anything else you want to add?
Nope, I think
No.
we covered it.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about what's going on robhaswebsite.com. News AF with Andy Herron's friend and mine, Tyson Apostle and Danny Bryson. Talk about half Christmas tree. Perfect to put up flush against your wall. Great idea. And much more on the latest News AF. And then Puya is back to talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way. And he's going to be talking with, who's this? Samantha Parker? Check that out. 90 Day Fiance. Melissa, how was
Wow,
yours?
what a ringing endorsement.
I was going to say, Rob.
I don't, you know, the print is very tiny, and there you go.
Silence too. You're like, who's this? Samantha?
I thought somebody
Parker?
was going to bail me out. Melissa, how?
Yeah.
How was your stint on the 90 Day Fiance wrap up?
It was great. I feel like I talked Puya's ear off. So, you know, go listen to it if you want to hear like all of my thoughts. Cause like I've had it basically just like held inside for all these 90 Day Fiance seasons because I've been watching and I'm the only one I know that watches. So I basically wanted to talk about like every couple from the beginning of time. And it was very fun.
Okay. Andy, do you watch that show?
I do not, but I've been told by a lot of people that I should.
Yes. Okay.
It's pretty good, but I feel like it starts off kind of slow where you're just like, why am I watching this? Like, why do people care about this? And then
I love
kind
it
of
from the
get
start.
sucked in.
Okay.
I just need to get in on the start of the season and keep up.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then, the Purple Pants podcast is back. Bryce is going to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Check in with Amon, update you on the Freak of the Week, and more on the latest Purple Pants podcast, episode number 60 with Bryce Isaiah. Then, look, The Bachelorette is back, and Amy and Haley are here to talk about season 16, episode 1. The season premiere is here. Everybody's talking about The Bachelorette. Check out.
So good.
Yes, our original wrap up. Amy and Haley are back to talk about everything going on The Bachelorette in our wrap ups feed and our Bachelorette podcast feed. And then, do we have another question? I have to say, as bad as 2020 has been, the fact that I'm sitting here watching The Amazing Race is truly a blessing. I'm super excited for a season of awesome coverage from RHAP, from Mike and Jess. Okay, thank you, Adam Humphrey. A great tweet to set up. We will have our Amazing Race recap. I will watch the premiere right after this episode. And then Jess and Mike and myself will record our season premiere recap tomorrow morning and have that for you. And then we are going to be having a second Amazing Race podcast every week. We're calling it the Pit Stop. No, the Tar Pits. The Tar Pits. Check that out. Our second Amazing Race podcast. Should have that for you Sunday night. Our second Amazing Race podcast, which will feature an exit interview, feedback questions, Amazing Race interviews with past contestants, and more on our second Amazing Race podcast of the week here on Amazing Race season. Of course, Taryn is going to be back with the live feed update tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Check out what is going on in the Big Brother house on eviction day with Taryn. And then tomorrow night, we will be live after the episode. Taryn will be joining myself, Amon, and Lavina on Thursday night to talk about everything that's happening on our eviction night. And a special surprise is in the works as well tomorrow night if you want to join us live, see what's going on. Of course, all this podcasting is made possible by the patrons of Rob Has a Podcast. Head on over to robhasawebsite.com/patron to find out more about our patron-only shows, our podcast community, and much more at robhasawebsite.com/patron. And tomorrow night, I'll be live at 7 p.m. Eastern taking calls from our listeners, our patrons, on our patron-only pregame show coming up tomorrow night. So join us live at 7 p.m. before the live show. Of course, you could follow us on social media. We've been sharing a ton of clips from the episodes. We are at Rob Has a Podcast on Twitter or at RHAP Grams on Instagram, hashtag happily engaged. And then, of course, at Rob is a podcast on our Facebook page. There you go. And of course, yes, if you are not yet registered to vote, what are you waiting for? I mean, we got a big election coming up. 20 days to go. Big Brother will be over by the time you get to the election. And you want to make sure that you're registered to vote. Head on over to vote.gov to see what you need to do to get registered to vote. And don't be sitting there come November 3rd, like, oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. Make a list, make a voting plan, and get over to vote.gov and do what you got to do. Hashtag adulting. Okay?
Yes.
Right.
And I will say, I've been seeing a lot of, I haven't voted yet, but I will early vote. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff about like long lines and everything. I know that if you live in Houston, which is probably a small population, but hey, a lot of people do live in Houston. You can go to khou.com and it shows all the polling places and their wait times. So I'd imagine other cities are doing that as well. And so I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to use that in order to know where to vote in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Vote. Please vote.
let me just say, sitting on an 11-hour line and having nobody bothering me and listening to podcasts sounds like a dream. Okay. I relish that. We've got tons of podcasts to get you through whatever long wait lines you're on. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Also recommend if you've got like a mail-in ballot to use one of the drop boxes instead of using just the mail. It guarantees that they're going to get it in time and everything will be good and count it and all that. So
That's what I'm doing.
use a drop box.
Okay. All right. Melissa, what's next for you?
I think that this weekend on Sunday, I'm supposed to be joining Puya, his stream to do the Among Us.
Yes, I got to play this past Sunday.
Yeah, I heard about that. And they played for 8 hours, which I told him I will not be
They
doing
played
that.
for 8 hours?
They played for 8 hours. I was like, oh my God. It was very impressive. But I told him, like, I will not be there for 8
What
hours.
is going on?
I
Yeah.
will only be on for as long as I can do, but 8 hours will not be it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wow.
So it should be fun. I've only played once before, so I'm probably going to be really, really bad, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's hard because the people that really know the game are like at a big like advantage of they're just like saying things that like I don't even know what that means. Like you were in that room and I know that task is like, all right, you got me. You're just at a way bigger knowledge advantage than I am.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Asia, I didn't say very sorry about Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but Andy Dalton is not shabby. So us Dallas
Andy
Cowboys
week.
will be in good shape. So it's, all hope is not lost.
Okay. Asia, what's next for you?
Well, I'll be watching The Amazing Race, watching The Bachelorette.
Do you have a favorite team on this Amazing Race?
I do. So Will's team, Will and his fiance. I can't think of his name, but
James.
yeah, I'm rooting for them.
Yes.
Oh, what's his name? Matt.
James?
Oh, James. Okay, yeah. Will and James. Yes, I am rooting for them.
Not D'Angelo Williams.
Right. No. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting. So, I will be watching that, but yeah, pretty much that's all I'll be doing.
Okay. All right. And where can people keep up with you, Asia?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Twitter, Asia like Asia. So it's AYSHA like ASIA. I also just got a puppy 1 month ago, and she's a Malshi Poo. So if you want to see pictures of her or my roommate's standard poodle, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Asia like the continent, AYSHA like the continent.
Okay. All right. And the great Andy Herron. Andy, if people want to get cameos from you under the influence, it's a great idea, right? It's a great gift.
It's fun. Yeah, I really enjoy doing them. I always have a good time. I think people enjoy them. So, and it's just cameo.com/my name, Andy Herron.
Mm-hmm. And what else is going on, Andy?
I'm going to like a cabin in the woods in like Western Illinois with a few friends for the next 5 days, starting tomorrow.
Now, I know you're a big horror guy. Are you hoping that there's going to be like, is this like some sort of like Halloween? I'm going to go like to a cabin in the woods and hope that Jason comes.
I mean, no. I mean, I guess that would be exciting as long as I didn't get killed. But no, we're just like, we wanted to just like disconnect for a little bit. Although I say that, but I'm gonna like for sure like be trying to watch the episode tomorrow, or like figuring out a time to watch it on Friday if I can. So I'll be gone until Monday, but then I'll just be back living my life, tweeting about Big Brother, doing cameos, you know, the usual.
Yes. Andy, do you dress up for Halloween?
I usually do. Yeah, I do not have a costume for this year though yet, so we'll see.
Okay. If anybody has an idea for a costume,
yeah, let me know. Tweet at me. Yeah, let me know.
I know Nicole's cat dress.
Yes,
Yeah,
Nicole's
It's
good. That's
It's only $16.
Yes.
But yeah.
How about the superhero Abra Curl Dabra?
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Deborah's like, who are you?
Right. I'm Abercurl Deborah, of course.
Duh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. We had a lot of fun. Thanks so much to Scott St. Pierre behind the scenes. Check out our amazing race recap tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.